Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing great. Guys, this is Varinder. I'm the head IELTS tutor at A1 Australia Group. Before we begin with this class, let me give you a brief introduction about myself. Guys, I have been teaching IELTS to students for many years and I've helped thousands of students achieve their desired score in IELTS. My personal score in IELTS is 8 in writing, 8 in speaking, 9 in reading and 9 in listening. So today, as you'll be able to see on your screen, I'm going to discuss with you the structure for writing your advantage disadvantage essay in your IELTS examination, right? Now, as all of you know it already, that your writing task 2 in IELTS examination is essay. Important thing about essay which you should note is that the weightage for essay is higher than weightage for writing task 1. Whether it is academic test, whether it is general training, essay brings you 66% of the bands, whereas remaining 33% of your scores, they are allocated to your writing task 1. That is the reason essay is more important. To give you an example to explain this, if you get 7 bands in your essay, and if you get 6 bands in your writing task 1, your overall scores in writing would be 7. But if let's say the opposite happens, you get 7 bands in your writing task 1, and you get 6 bands in your essay, then your scores will drop to 6 bands. This is the importance of essay. So always keep in mind, whenever you're attempting your writing task, whether it is academic, whether it is general training, you should always start with your essay, complete your essay first, and only then you should switch on to your writing task 1. Okay. Now, without wasting any further time, let's discuss a structure for advantage disadvantage essay, which you can implement blindly, and I can guarantee you it will always fetch you the best possible scores. Whether that is 7, whether that is 8 band, whatever is your target score, you will get it very easily, right? Let's start. Now, in your essay, guys, right, we have to do 4 things. We have to write introduction, we have to write body paragraph 1, we have to write body paragraph 2, and we have to write conclusion. Now, there is no strict limit that you only have to write 4 paragraphs, but I believe this is the best structure. This is the best layout which you should go with, right? So let me write it here. So what we do, we write introduction, we write body paragraph 1, we write body paragraph 2, and then we write the conclusion, right? Now, under these paragraphs, what should be the content? Let's discuss that. That is the main question, isn't it? Right? So for your introduction, guys, what you have to do is, the first thing in your introduction which you have to do is, you have to rephrase the question statement in your own words, right? Whatsoever is a question statement you have in front of you in your examination, you put it down in your own words. That becomes the first statement when you are writing your introduction. Clear? After that, second thing, because it is an advantage disadvantage essay, what you should do is, right, briefly, right, in very few words, state the advantages. Probably I should write it here, in fact. State the 2 advantages. You should go with 2 advantages. I believe that is the best, right? And 2 disadvantages, right? You can increase or decrease the number. You can probably write just 1 main advantage and 1 main disadvantage, or you can go with even, let's say, 3 advantages or disadvantages. However, I believe 2 advantages and disadvantages are more than sufficient for you to fetch the desired scores, right? Last thing, what you do is you state your opinion here, right? Now, I understand this is an advantage disadvantage essay. So some of you might have this question in your mind, why we are going to give our opinion here. Reason being, guys, it conveys to the examiner that you have understood the question statement and you are presenting your idea, what you should believe, right? Okay. Whether you believe it has more advantages, whether you believe it has more disadvantages, or you believe there's a balance of 2, whatsoever is your idea, you should float it very clearly in very lucid terms here without any ambiguity. Right? Next, under your body paragraph 1, now what you have to do here is, let's talk about that. The first thing you do in a body paragraph 1 is you write 2 statements to explain the advantages, right? The advantages which you listed in the introduction in a brief manner, you should explain it. You should elaborate on it. 2 statements for that. After that, what you should do is you should give an example to support your argument, right? One example, it is very crucial for you to present the example, otherwise you will not fetch the best scores, okay? Because very clearly, always it is mentioned in the instructions under the essay question that you have to give examples from your own knowledge, right? So make it a habit that you give examples. Crucial thing to understand here is what kind of examples are good and what kind of examples are bad. Examples where you state a research was conducted, right? It was published in a newspaper, a study was conducted, or giving examples from your personal life is something which I believe not at all you should go with, right? This is something which is really bad for your essay. Always refrain from that. What kind of example you should put forward is you should give example which relates to the general life of the people around you, in the surroundings, in the actual world. That is the best example. Okay. Never give example where you are putting statistics without knowing the actual figures, right? Sometimes what happens is students just make up a number in their mind and they give it as an example that a study was conducted and it was found that 50% of the students said this or 50% of the people said this. Don't do that, right? Always give an example from your journal day-to-day life, but please don't make it personal, right? Don't say that I went to this school or college, for example. Let's say you're giving an example related to some school or college which you went to or some incident in your life. That is also something which I believe should not be done, right? Last thing is what you do is you conclude this paragraph by restating the advantage, right? Whatever advantage you have stated, you should restate that in the last statement. Advantage, or in fact, I should say advantages, right? Because we are talking about advantages here. So this is what I should do, right? Same thing we'll repeat for our body paragraph 1. So what we'll do is for our body paragraph 2 here, in fact, I should say, we'll repeat the same thing. My bad. Right. Let me highlight this as well. So we'll repeat the same thing, but instead of advantages here, what we are going to do is we are going to write disadvantages. And here as well, right? Disadvantages. Okay. So this is what is the structure till body paragraph 2 that you should go with when it comes to writing your advantage, disadvantage essay. Last thing is your conclusion. Let's talk about that as well, right? For your conclusion, what you should do is, now many students, they have a big issue when it comes to writing their conclusion. But believe me, today I will give you a structure which you can adopt for every essay and it will always work. And is the simplest way to present a conclusion. What you should do in conclusion is the same thing which you did in your introduction. Just use different words. Keep everything else similar to what you had stated in your introduction. The idea should be the same, right? But words should be different. And I can tell you, I can guarantee it, guys, number of students in my class, they have achieved 8, 8.5, 7, 7.5 bands easily using this structure. You can also go with this one and you will definitely score your desired bands, right? Now, one thing which you definitely need after this is you need someone to evaluate your essay, someone who has experience at checking these writing tasks and someone who has himself or herself appeared in IELTS examination and they have went through the process, right? Because only that person can actually guide you with what is the correct structure, what is the correct way of writing it, right? And can talk about the mistakes which you're making. There might be some spelling errors, there might be some grammar errors. For example, you might be missing some punctuations at a particular place, or let's say objects of preposition are wrong, or objects of nouns are wrong, or there's some issue with your inflection, okay? So all these grammatical topics, the person who has the knowledge for that, right, they can guide you with that, how to improve that so that you can fetch the required scores, okay? This is something which I believe you should know about, okay? Now, I hope all of you understood this, right? Okay. If you are not able to understand something, please feel free to write a comment down the video, right? And I'll try to explain it in the comments as well. I'll try to clarify your doubts. But I believe this is the easiest structure which you can inculcate when you're writing advantage, disadvantage essay. And it will always help you to achieve that goal which you have in your mind as far as writing task is concerned. Okay. Now, there's not only advantage, disadvantage essay, there are other essays as well, like discussion and opinion essay, right? Then you have problem and solution essay. Then you have direct question essay. So agreement, disagreement essay. So we'll discuss about other essays as well in our upcoming videos. But for the timing, I believe you should try this structure whenever you're writing advantage, disadvantage essay. and see if it works for you or not. Okay. So this will be all, guys, for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, right? And if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, right? Share this video with your friends, someone who's preparing for IELTS, okay? And if you need more help with your preparation, right? If you need someone to check your essays, to guide you with other modules as well, writing, speaking, listening, reading, anything, right? Then feel free to join us at One Australia group. We have taught thousands of students and we are still teaching hundreds of them, right? And helping them achieve the desired score. So you can be part of our team and you can also get the scores in your first attempt itself, right? So I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.